What's up, YouTube? Lord Xander here, and here we have for this video Games Workshop White Dwarf 487. All right, so here we are. For the Warhammer 40k section of this magazine, we'll be looking at the War of Iron, the new Arcs of Omen lore, and missions. So again, if you can't get a hold of any of the Arcs of Omen codexes, especially Abaddon, that's been off sale, unfortunately, for a while now. These magazines are not a bad substitute. All right, so you get free boarding action tiles. So let's ignore the War of Sigmar and all the other stuff in here for now, and just focus on the defense of the grid. So the Herald of Misery. So this is what they would call, I believe it's a flashpoint. That's how they've been referring to these as. So again, we have the Chaos Trader Space Marines, specifically those aligned with the Chaos Daemon, Greater Daemon of Khorne, the blood for the Blood God. So here's the backdrop for the lore. So extra, bit narrative information. And then of course, the Herald of Misery. So of course you get more story in here, and then flashpoints, a series of articles that focus on specific conflicts, points of time, and you have new rules for the background of the boarding actions, which is pretty cool. All right, so we have the Adeptus Mechanicus here. All right, so back to the grid. All right, so what they have here is temporary barrier titles. So kind of like a force shield that can block and or damage. Kind of like if you think about Star Trek, there's a force fields that they use to cut off certain areas of ship when there's a breach, or say they were boarded by a hostile force that could cut off the section of the ship and keep them contained. But this is kind of random and dangerous. All right, so you get rules for that. Security, you're not allowed to pass through it or enter movement on it. And I think you can shoot through it, but of course it's like plasma, a wall of plasma, super heat that shoots up from the floor to the ceiling and makes a solid wall. So not a good place to stand on. So I think for the purpose of this mission, if you're on a tile that's fully activated, you're destroyed on a roll of 1 or 2 or something. All right, so my R2D2 bookmark. All right. So, of course, has this different missions in here, different map setup, attacker and deployment, and defender's flanking zone, the barrier. So pretty cool stuff in here. Different missions and turning on and turning off the grids. And then, getting certain objective markers and prizes. And again, the grids play an important role in this. And of course, downloading data from a terminal. And again, this is just another fun way for you to use, the models and terrain. If you got the boarding actions terrain, or say, any of the prior 40k box sets would do. All right, then of course you have stratagems, which are pretty cool sometimes. And then here you get battle reports. So Necrons, and looks like the Adeptus Mechanicus. Oh, and here's a really cool thing about this book is they actually give you the rules for the Daemon Primarch of the World Eaters Agron. So one of the original leaders of the traitors, a Primarch turned into pretty much a chaos demigod, or demigod pretty much. I said demigod. All right, and you're forced to get some backstory, which is pretty cool stuff to read. And then, of course, some heavy metal painting tips. And they're, of course, based on the art. So this is a pretty good looking model, I think, in my opinion. Some people don't like it, but it's way too expensive. I'd recommend if you really want to get this model, you go third party for sure and buy it at a discount. Of course, in this issue of Warhammer, you also get a battle report of the Iron Warriors doing their thing versus the Adeptus Mechanicus. So let's just take a look at their forces here. Pretty cool. So you get your Daemon Princes and your what do you call it, Spire Tyrants, and your Marines, and Demolisher Tank, and of course your Obliterators and stuff like that. Vindicar tanks, Rhinos for your transport for your troops. And then the Adeptus Mechanicus, you get your robots and your Electro Priests, and what do you call it? Pretty much robots and androids. Pretty cool stuff. And your Scutari, that's your main kind of background forces with their weapons. And it gives you a play-by-play on how this kind of turned out and who won the battle at the end. Let's just kind of skip some of the pages here for the copyright gods here. Okay, so it looks like the Iron Warriors took this battle because they got more victory points and had less casualties, and holding the objective. So holding objectives in 40K is super important for those of you who haven't played out there. Oh, you also get a mission of Warhammer 30K. So the right after the betrayal of Horus, the battles between Loyalists and the turning Chaos Marines, former Loyalist. So you get some missions for that. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you always get like a little excerpt of the Black Library book in here. So I would say the writers who write the novels of 40K are good writers for the most part. Better writing than they have like in Hollywood for sure. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and then make sure you hit that notification bell so when I load up another video you can be alerted to that. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.